Hey guys, Fox here. Time for some game gots, and I got a crap ton of stuff to show you. First up, I wanted to talk about how I got on a big kick of collecting WayForward developed games. And I did some research and looked around and picked up a lot of titles I'm excited to share here. First up is a couple of games done by them before they were known as WayForward, and that's the Mickey's Ultimate Challenge, and these just is a group of puzzle games. Not a fantastic game, but it works well enough. It's not bad. So I found this one complete. I just need to get a cardboard insert for that. And then I also picked up the Game Boy version, also done by WayForward as well. Now, I picked up a few Game Boy Color games by them. One rare one reprint, if you will. But first up, I picked up WWF Betrayal. This one's okay for a wrestling game. It's not bad. I kind of play like a beat 'em up, so it's interesting. It's not bad, but not one of their high point games. Here's one that I'm really excited to have, because I've actually had my eye on this for quite a few years, and it just kind of keeps going up in value, and I just decided to pull the trigger on one that wasn't too terribly expensive. Still expensive though, and that's Wendy Every Which Way. This is a fun little platformer game where you play as Wendy, and you can get these little items to power up and walk through the platforming stages. But the unique thing about this game is that you can like reverse gravity, kind of, where you're walking on the ceiling as opposed to the floor. So it's kind of fun to do the platforming game that way, and it's a nice little Halloween theme. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good game, so I'm glad at least some of these high dollar games are at least decent. So up next, you all know one of the holy grail games on the Game Boy Color by WayForward is Shantae, and I would love to have an original cart for Shantae, but it's ridiculously expensive. It's trying to be sold for way too much on eBay, and those are the only ones you ever find are the ones that are going for pretty much $1,000 just for a cart. When it really shouldn't be that much. And they just keep sitting there, and get relisted. It's pretty annoying. But something that I should have picked up back in the day when Limited Run re-released Shantae, on the Switch and I think PS4. They also released a Game Boy Color cart here. And the thing was I didn't order this because I had no idea that this actually had a playable cart in it. I thought it was one of their display pieces, because I have one for Risky's Revenge, and it just comes with a little display cart, and it's just it's merely a collectible. So I passed on this thinking that, and I was a fool. This actually has a playable cart in it and a full color manual. It's really nice. So for a fraction of the price of a real cart, I can get this pretty much reprinted cart from Limited Run, who works a lot with WayForward. So it's a real cart. It plays on my Game Boy Color, and it'll definitely do for now until maybe one day I can find an original release. So excited to have that. All right, next on the WayForward train, I gotta get this moving. There's a lot of stuff to go through. On the Switch, I got Mighty Switch Force Collection. This is a cool set of games that I first played on, I think, the 3DS. I think there was one on the DS as well. But these are pretty cool. Kind of the same idea of where they ran with Wendy Every Which Way. I think that might have been some inspiration for these Switch Force games. Lots of fun. One I have not played yet, and really don't know much about, I should give it a shot, is Vitamin Connection. And it's bubbly, it looks cute. But that's all. I can't tell you much more on it because I have not played it yet. Here's a fun run and gun game. Definitely better than the movie, and that's The Mummy Demastered. This is it's actually surprisingly fun for a movie license game, but WayForward tends to do some amazing work when it comes to their movie licenses. So I'll show you some more when we're coming up. Another one is Goosebumps the game. This is actually a decent game. I've played the original release. What did I get it on? Was it the PS4? It might have been the PS4. So it's not bad, and then it's pretty faithful to the books, especially for people of my generation, where we kind of grew up on reading the original releases of the Goosebumps books. So yeah, Switch WayForward. Now, got a couple for the 3DS from WayForward, and they're both Adventure Time games. So they got the Adventure Time license. This is Explore the Dungeon because I don't know. These are actually pretty fun, and if you are an Adventure Time fan, you'll probably enjoy it even more. But yeah, so this was another WayForward developed one, and along with Adventure Time. Hey Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? I love these subtitles. They're pretty awesome. But yeah, so these were published by D3, but WayForward did the work on them. And I've got a couple DS games. This one was actually surprisingly fun. I popped it in and was actually having a decent time with it. And that's the Hotel Transylvania, another licensed game. It's pretty good. It's not bad at all. And, you know, I find enjoyment out of the movie itself anyway, so. Here's one that people talked about a while ago, back in its day, saying that this game was good. So I'm glad I could finally pick up a copy. And it's another licensed game. It's Thor, God of Thunder on the DS. This one is really cool. It's a lot of fun. And lastly, now, I was torn on whether, I couldn't find definitively whether this was actually developed by WayForward or not. And I'm starting to think it wasn't. Some of the lists I was reading online about all the stuff that they were developing said this was one of theirs, and then I found some stuff that said it wasn't. So I'm gonna lean towards wasn't. And that's the Smurfs 2 on the DS. So I didn't really play this one. I should pop it in, but I'm not sure if this was a WayForward one or not, so I don't know. Anyway, so that's all the WayForward stuff that I picked up. Quite a bit, huh? I am missing a few titles, of course, but I'm working on it. It's going to be fun. All right, let's get on to the rest of them. I'm going to go a little faster here. For the Game Boy Color, I picked up Mickey's Racing Adventure. Great little racing game there. Loose Game Boy carts here. I have Hit the Ice. Nice. Taito. Hockey game. We've got Metal Masters. This one's actually getting a reprint from Limited Run, I believe, with one other game. Can't remember the name of it, but the other one is actually a pretty uncommon Game Boy cart, so it's actually worth it to pick up the Limited Run one because it's much cheaper than getting it complete elsewhere. We've got Batman Forever. Finally got a copy of Faceball, but of course the label's coming off. I got it pretty cheap, but I wanted one of these, but this label's pretty awful. I may have to upgrade that later. Not an expensive game. Now, a game that's pretty uncommon and runs a decent price is Beavis and Butthead on the Game Boy. I haven't played this yet, so I couldn't tell you much about it. I've played some Beavis and Butthead games, and I've actually enjoyed most of them. Got a copy of Looney Tunes from Sunsoft. And a copy of Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I am a sucker. I have a lot of the Home Alone games. Most of them are not good. A few Game Gear games. We've got James Pond 2. This is the one where he pretends to be RoboCop. It says RoboCod. First one, he's obviously James Bond. We've got a regular copy of NBA Jam, which I'm surprised I didn't have because I have the tournament edition, but not the standard release. A couple Simpsons games for the Game Gear. We've got Bart vs. the World. I love Simpsons games, no matter how bad they are. And Bart vs. the Space Mutants. I got one Super Nintendo game, something that's not very expensive and something I surprisingly didn't have in my collection, but kind of want. Is Final Fight. I know it's not the best version of the game, but it's still a good time. I usually will play my arcade 1-up Final Fight machine over that. Picking up a tip from Bublin after my antique store run. He saw a game during that video that suggested that I should pick up, so when I went back, luckily it's still there. And that's Dash and Desperados. I love this like claymation cover. It's pretty cool. I have yet to pop this into my Genesis to give it a go, but it looks like it's a pretty good time. Can't wait to give it a shot. I think it's complete too. Yep. Nice Data East game. Usually release good stuff. Nintendo 64. Surprisingly, I did not have this in my collection. It's probably one of the must-haves for the N64, and that's the original Super Smash Brothers. I don't think I really need to say much about that. Picked up a copy of Tetrasphere, an odd Tetris game, actually quite difficult to figure out, but I've heard people who know what they're doing actually have a pretty good time with it. And Pilot Wings 64. And lastly, for the N64, I picked up a box copy. Got a really good deal on this at one of my local game stores. And that's one of the few RPGs on the system, and that's Aiden Chronicles, the First Mage. Kind of like that cover art. And that side art too, that's pretty cool. I like the dragon. Anyway, so this is one of those color cards. So this one's black. There is a very rare gray card of this game. But yeah, I hear it's quite a slow game. So if you're patient, it's probably a decent game. But most people can't stand how slow it is. Literally, it just moves really slow. But I'm a big RPG guy, so I've been looking to add that to my collection for quite some time. I got a couple NES games here. This one's in a case. Let me pull it out. And one I don't have in my collection. Don't know why, but now I do. Contra. You all know the classic run and gun. And I picked up a black box game in really good condition of baseball. I think I have a cart only of this, so I'm glad to upgrade. And the pull tab is not even pulled up, so that's really nice. It's an okay baseball game. I'd rather play bases loaded, but you know, I love those. I'm a sucker for those black box games if I can find them for a decent price. Now I've got a lot of GameCube games of all things. I went on a garage sale hunt this past weekend, as a lot of communities in the area are starting to do garage sale weekends, and I was just not having much luck going around to these garage sales until the last one I went, and the guy saw my shirt, and I had a Super Mario 64 shirt on. He's like, "You a collector?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Me too." And we struck it off, and I asked him, "Well, knowing that you're a collector, you probably have a box of stuff that you want to trade." And he's like, "I sure do." He's like, "I don't really like the GameCube, but I have a bunch of GameCube games, so you're welcome to come have at them." And he sold me these really cheap, $5 a piece. So Very excited to show these. These are all fantastic deals. Okay, first up, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. Granted, it has some writing on the, I don't know if that's on the cover or on the plastic, to be honest with you. It's on the plastic, great. That's awesome, so I can trade out the case. I love Mario Golf games. We all know Mario Golf, what's it, Super Rush or some, I don't know. The new Mario Golf game for the Switch is coming out real soon, and I'm excited to play that. So I figured in the meantime, I can pop this in and play a couple rounds. Alien Hominid. That came from that, this originated from, what's that, like Flash movie or Flash games on, like, what was that channel? Like Newgrounds or something like that. So this is a lot of fun to play. And then we got Star Wars Rogue Leader. This is actually a really good game. Impressively good looking for the GameCube too. Soul Calibur 2. I'm surprised I don't have this. It's really shocking that I don't have this one. I played a ton of Soul Calibur 2. This is probably one of my most played fighting games next to like Smash Brother games. I played this so much, especially this version with Link. One of my buddies was really good with Link on here. And lastly, NFL Street, which is, these are actually pretty fun. I like the Street games. Good times. Those were all complete except for Toadstool Tour. That one's missing the manual. One PSP game, it's the greatest hits, which is that damn red border. Anyway, but it's a decent one. Need for Speed Carbon, Own the City. I kind of like the Need for Speed games. I don't play a lot of racing games, but sometimes I like the more arcadey style ones instead of the simulator ones. New Switch games, minus the WayForward ones. My copy of Battle Axe finally came in. I kickstarted this game, and then, you know, I got this, which is great, and also came with the soundtrack, which I'll show you later, and some stickers and stuff. And then Limited Run went ahead and was like, wow, we're gonna publish this too. And I'm like, well, shit. Oh well. Glad I could help them. I haven't played it yet. It looks like a fantastic time. I'll probably pop it in pretty soon. Because I just finished Streets of Rage 4. I beat that a couple times, had a lot of fun. And I'm getting Fight and Rage in the mail here soon, so you guys will see that next time. And I really want to play that, and then I want to play some Battle Axe as well. This came from Limited Run, but it's not an official Limited Run release. I think this is like a partner store. Yeah, Idea Factory. So I got Death End Request. Really digging this artwork. This cover work is pretty awesome. This is mostly it's kind of like a visual novel, but it's got turn-based battles and stuff like that. It seemed really interesting, so I was like, I think I might enjoy this. So I went ahead and picked it up. It was one of the cheaper releases from Limited Run. You could get it other places too. It was like only 30 bucks. Of course, got a copy of Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. I'm currently playing this right now. Having a good time. I played the original PS2 one, never beat it. It's pretty brutal, so I'm gonna take my time with it this time, and make sure I can get through all the way through the game. And last Switch game is a combo pack of Savors of Sapphire Wings, which I've never played, but I have played Stranger of Sword City, but this is called the revisited version, so it must have some improvements. So I played Stranger of Sword City on the Vita, and actually really liked it. I love the art styles in these games. It's a good time. These are pretty much dungeon crawlers, you know, with the kind of the 3D, you know, take one step movement, like kind of like a Etrian Odyssey style. So I really suggest Strangers of Sword City. That's a pretty good one. I can't wait to try that one. And only one PS4 game, and that is Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I was just gonna blast through all 3, but I think I'm going to take my time. I already played through the first game, which is a game I've never actually beat, so I was happy to finish the first one. And I've, in the past, already finished the second and third game on the 360. So I'm in no hurry to finish those. I already know what happens, and I'm glad I got to play the first one. But I do want to play the second one again with my custom character and just relive this world. Mass Effect is a great series of games. The ending of the third one is questionable, but doesn't take away from how great the world is. And some non-games stuff. These went on sale from Nintendo, surprisingly. I got an email saying, hey, you're taking 30% off of these if you want to pick up a pair. So I did. It's the Nintendo Switch Online NES controllers. Yeah, so they put these suckers on sale, and I was like, all right, sweet. Well, I guess I'll pick them up. And as the time these are on sale, I was like, I might as well pick up the Super Nintendo controller too, just to have it. And those were sold out though. What else we got here? Oh, here's the CD soundtrack for Battle Axe, and that artwork's pretty sweet. I can't wait to play that. And let's see, I got a few manuals here. A couple hard to get ones here. That's the Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. This one's in really good condition. What's funny is after I bought this, I was like, I wasn't sure if I had this or not, because I have the box for the game, and the game wasn't 100% if I have the manual. I do, so now I have a second manual, which will get thrown in the trade pile. The manual I know I don't have is for the Legend of Zelda Oracle Seasons. This one's a little beat up, but I don't mind. It's for my personal collection. I just like to have the manual so I can thumb through it when I feel like it. So, excited to have that. And one NES manual, that's the Legend of Kage. Horrible sounds in this game, but it's actually a fun game, I think. I love these title releases on the NES. One book, and a book I suggest anybody who likes Nintendo give it a read, because it's a pretty good fun read, and that's Ask Iwata. Words of Wisdoms from Satoru Iwata, Nintendo's legendary CEO. Really good time. It just takes a lot of quotes about things that Iwata said, and it just makes a nice little book. It's a good read. I suggest it to anybody who's interested. Last thing I picked up was a custom Game Boy Color. One of my game shops is doing orders for custom Game Boys. And they'll put on, different cases. It's got the original guts in it, except they change out for an IPS screen, backlit, and give you a new shell, a new speaker, replace the buttons, and everything else is original. I got some Oracle Seasons in there, a couple lithium batteries, and it looks pretty good. Let's see how it looks. It lights up really well. It's pretty bright. It plays great. I'm really excited to have this. This is a lot of fun. This will definitely hold me over until that analog pocket comes. But yeah, it looks good, and you just tap up here and changes the brightness of the screen. It's kind of neat how they just use the IO sensor for that. But yeah, well guys, those are all my game gots. This was a long ass video, so I hope you stuck around and enjoyed. Thanks for watching.